listening to the Spit Take podcast with Adam and Alex. We are very excited today. We are going to have an Alan Richson day. He's been in the news a lot. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But the first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to have some suggestions for our listeners, things we're watching, things that have been exciting for us and that we're hooked on. So, Alex, what are you watching?
Oh, man. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 just came back out. I watched that today, and it's excellent. Love it, love it, love it, love it. The first season was great. I mean, I loved Daredevil when they did it on Netflix. It was dark, it was gritty, it was street-level superhero. They acknowledged the greater MCU while not bringing in the magic and the wacky, which allowed him to be, realistic, street level. He doesn't really have powers outside of just extrasensory perception. And this new season's great. I mean, we got Wilson Fisk as a very obvious political figure. He's imposed martial law on the city, and Daredevil and his friends are fighting back. And it's fantastic. The fight scenes are great again. Charlie Cox is great. Did you ever see, what was that movie he did, the love story one that was kind of like Stardust?
I know it. Yes, I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about. And I like Charlie Cox.
It's cute.
He's been a great Matt Murdock, a great Daredevil. I really liked the Born Again season 1. I liked it when it was on Netflix. I thought Elektra was great. The hand, stick, all of that was awesome. And I'm excited to jump into season 2. I'm watching another show right now, but I'm going to get into that soon.
Oh, what are you watching?
So I've been watching Monarch Legacy of Monsters season 2. Fantastic show. If you're into the Godzilla, King Kong stuff, I know that's not a big thing for you, but growing up watching Godzilla, like the old Godzilla movies, the actual Godzilla movies, watching those and then going into like all the new stuff they've had, which I've been very excited for. I've seen all the movies. I like the Godzilla Kong stuff. I think that the CGI has been great with it. And going into Monarch season 1, I was not expecting them to make it as high budget as it looks like the movies. They really went all out for it. Cause like sometimes you get into movies like the superhero shows and everything where it's like the movies, here's this great effects and everything. And then the show is like, yeah, we're working on like 1/10 of the budget for that. So
I just watched season 3 of Stargirl. So the Ultra Humanite gorilla character is right in my mind when you say that. It's budgeted right out of Windows 95.
But they do such a good job with Monarch, and they don't skimp on the budget. King Kong looks like he does in the movies. Godzilla looks like he does in the movies. But more so, I love that it's building the lore of that universe. And in the first season, it's all about these two kids finding their dad, who works for Monarch, and he's trying to build a beacon for Godzilla. And so like they find him, they go through all these things. Kurt Russell's in it, and Kurt Russell's always amazing. Him and his son is in it. So
I think I've seen press tours with them talking.
Yeah, Kurt Russell plays the older version. His son plays the younger version of him, because they do flashbacks of like when Monarch started. But season 2 starts off with them releasing a new Titan into the world because they're trying to save Kurt Russell from the, I think it's called Alpha Mundi. It's like an underworld type place. So they try to save him, and they accidentally unleash a new Titan. King Kong's all pissed off about it. And they're trying to basically figure out how to prevent it from hitting landfall and destroying people in those cities. So it's about halfway through right now. It's so good though. I mean, they've done a really good job with the story.
Is it Titans? Is it the old Greek myth, the fathers of the mothers of the gods, Titans kind of thing?
That's what they call the monsters. So that's what they call Godzilla, King Kong.
Like
they call
Kronos.
Them, yeah. So yeah, they call them Titans. They come from I wanted to say the Upside Down, but that's not right. It's no, they come Hollow Earth.
Godzilla versus 11.
Yeah. So they come from the Hollow Earth, and Skull Island is basically the nexus point of Hollow Earth, and it's a place where all these monsters exist. That's all in King Kong, but they kind of give you more of that lore. It is a fun show. I don't want to dive so much into it. I don't want to take up too much time, but it is a very good show, especially if you're into the Godzilla Kong stuff. So yeah, check it out. It's good. It's very good. Kurt Russell is always
that's good.
Kurt Russell's always a winner in my book.
I mean, he's my Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
People have their own Batmans. Kurt Russell is my Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
Kiss my butt, Kevin Costner. You still owe me a softball.
Mm-hmm. Kurt Russell.
Did I tell you that story?
No. I was like,
Kevin
softball.
Costner owes me a softball.
No. Tell that story.
I got a gig driving an actor from Field of Dreams from Chicago to Iowa. We drove up to Dubuque, and then from there we went to the Field of Dreams place. And so it was for the 25th anniversary. There was all these actors there. Costner was there, everybody, and I just got to sit back and chill backstage. Like they roped off the house, and then there was a ton of people who came to the game out by the field. And so I'm just sitting there chilling by the house, not doing shit. And I went to go take a walk and hit my pen a little bit. And Costner was playing in the game, in like the a celebrity game, and he was warming up his arm with his buddy. And I happened to just be walking past, and the ball sails over my head. I didn't even see who threw it. I just saw a fucking softball go over my head and go underneath a barn. And I'm stoned. I'm basically a Labrador Retriever at that point. I went and grabbed it and crawled underneath the thing, threw it back, and threw it to Kevin. And he was just like, "Oh, hey man, thanks. I appreciate it. I'll sign this for you." Never signed it for me.
Oh,
I didn't really want it. I don't believe in autographs, but he owes me a softball.
Best actor, my ass. Dances with Wolves.
I do love Kevin Costner.
You know what though? I'm gonna go on one more tangent before we get into Alan Richson. So,
is it your favorite Kevin Costner movie?
I mean, yes and yeah, pretty much. But it's about Field of Dreams. So I didn't know. So his wife in that movie, she's the one who won
Amy Madigan.
Yeah, she won Best Supporting Actress for Weapons at this past Oscars 2 weeks ago.
I still have to see that. It's on HBO, and every time I'm like, "Oh fuck, Adam told me to watch this."
I didn't realize it was the same person. So she played Gladys, who is the villain of the movie, and she was so phenomenal. She deserved every bit of that Oscar. But she played Gladys, and I had no connection because they did so good with the makeup in that movie. So good. The movie itself is amazing. And actually, I believe we are going to be interviewing one of the kids from that movie soon. I don't know when. This is new development. I
need to watch this damn thing. Wait, are we interviewing a child?
Yes, we're going to interview a child. We're going to have a PG rated episode.
Under the age of 18?
Yes. Yep. He's a child. I know. You might need to sit this one out, Alex.
I don't know if I can not say go fuck yourself, fuck, cunt, fuck. That's literally
that was the first thought I had. I was like, I don't know if Alex can do this one. But the kid's an up and comer apparently, so we'll see. He didn't have a huge part in the movie, but a lot of the kids who were in it didn't. Most of them did not have speaking lines, and you'll understand what I'm saying.
Only work part of the day.
Yeah, you'll understand what I'm saying. Like they're a big plot point, but they don't. Almost none of them have any speaking lines. But in any case, yes. So we will be having one.
I'm excited. I will ask him his favorite Minecraft. That's a thing, right? They're playing Minecraft.
Favorite Pokemon. Yeah, I think they still like Pokemon. There's like new ones coming out all the time. But yeah,
Pokemon missed me. I never got it. Never did it.
I was really into it. I was in the lunchroom, hooking up with the little tether cords back in the day before everything was Bluetooth, and hooking up with tether cords and battling Pokemon. Yeah.
What, on Game Boy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Game Boy Color.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got 3 or 4 or 5 years on you.
I'll be 40 in August.
I'm not going to say my age.
I'll be 40 in August.
I'm a little bit older than you. So yeah, we just missed it because you probably got more Power Rangers than I did because that was towards the end of my Childish Things era.
Yeah. So yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Nice.
But
nice.
Yeah, it was really cool to see that Amy Madigan won it because I had to look her up and I'm like, what else has she been in? I'm like, Field of Dreams. She was the wife. What the fuck? And I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. So good for her. Good for her. She deserved that. And it's definitely go watch Weapons because it's great. It's fucking great.
I will. I want to go rewatch Field of Dreams too. Now I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's fun. Tim Busfield was the actor I drove. That's Madigan's wife in that.
Oh.
Or not wife, brother.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was Costner's brother-in-law.
Yeah, and he was in West Wing and stuff. Yeah, he was.
Oh, great. Yeah. Super, super good dude. Really nice guy. He was just very polite to me the whole time. I drove him and his buddy, like his childhood friend. He was like, "Hey man, I'm doing the 25th anniversary. Why don't you just fucking
Sure.
fly to Chicago and join me and hang out all weekend?" Super good dude. Really
Yeah.
polite. Really, really nice to me.
Awesome. That's fun when you get to meet people like that.
You know who I
So-
want to meet?
Who's that?
Our guy that we're going to talk about. It's called Segue.
Okay. Yes.
Look at that. I segued it.
I love it. I love it. I wish I had read what you were saying, but
Sorry.
no,
It's the
I was
mustache.
Like,
It's
I don't
off-putting.
know. I was like, I don't know who we're talking about. Yeah. So Alan Richson has been in the news the past couple of days for getting into a fight with his neighbor. He has been cleared of anything. They said it was mutual combat, which I mean, I guess means that nobody's at
That's
fault.
a thing?
I guess that's what they called it. It's California.
That's a great band name.
Different rules out there. Mutual combat.
Yeah, right.
I like that.
Mutual combat.
Yeah. But the whole story is that he was riding his motorcycle down the street with his kids. His neighbor said he had been doing it the day before and he told him to be quiet because it was too loud. So he's riding down. And then his neighbor jumps out in front of him, pushes him off his bike. Alan Richson gets up, walks up to the guy and knocks him the fuck out. And
he knocked him over twice.
Yeah.
He knocked
twice.
Ritchson over. Ritchson didn't do anything. Like, he stood in front of him. Ritchson's like, kind of confronted him, but then went back to his bike. Dude shoves him again. Like, what idiot pushes that monster? Would you call him a handsome mutant of a man?
Yes, that is exactly
You're
how he should be
correct.
observed. There's people in this world that I'd pick a fight with, but not him. I mean, that
Sure.
dude is I think he said he's a 6'3", like
six-
brick
yeah.
shit house. And the neighbor, after you hear the neighbor talk, so the neighbor immediately, he broke the story to TMZ. So we already know that the neighbor's a piece of shit.
Mhm.
And he's telling the story like, oh, he keeps riding it. He's like riding it super fast down the street and everything. And then Alan Richson releases his body cam footage where he's going 18 miles an hour down the road. Not even the speed limit. He's going below the speed limit. And this neighbor just jumps out and is all pissed off. Basically, it's a Karen. It's whatever the male equivalent of a Karen is. Might just be a Karen. So,
When I first heard about it, I hate motorcyclists. Like, I'm sorry, I do. In an urban setting, I think it is rude. I think it's annoying. It's my least favorite thing about a sunny day is that motorcyclists get to enjoy them too, because they're so gosh darn loud. Like, you want to go out on the open road, easy rider out there, find Jack Nicholson until he dies, I'm with you. But it reverberates and it's loud, especially back in my hometown. People would ride their motorcycles downtown with music blaring.
Mhm.
So it's like, what are you doing, man? There's other humans in the world. But even if Alan Richson was blaring down the street with the Baja Men's Who Let the Dogs Out on repeat, I would say I would let him go.
yeah, that's one where you just say, that's fine. Do what you got to do.
You know what? You let those dogs out, Alan. Thad Castle.
Yeah. He was in every right to beat up I think we should normalize
Heck yeah.
beating the shit out of your neighbor who's being an asshole sometimes.
I agree completely. I think that there should be some kind of adjudicator in mutual combat, like a mutual combat judge. I gotta assume they wear like the white horsehair wig with the judge's robes, but the judge's robes are ripped off at the shoulders, and they have at least 2 or 3. Like, they have like a tribal tattoo that they got in 1998.
Yes.
And they go, you know what? Justified, unjustified fight, jail.
Right. I think it should be impromptu. Situation happens, and there's one in every neighborhood, and like he gets the call. There's an alarm that goes off in his house, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Grabs his wig, his judge robe, runs outside, finds the fight, and's like, "All right, let's go to town." And
tell me about why is this happening, Greg, Mike?
Would you like to do trial by combat? Mutual combat.
Yeah.
Would
Give
you
him
like
a choice?
To do mutual? Yeah. Would you like
Should
to
I
do
call the
mutual
cops?
combat?
Mutual. Would you like some mutual combat, or just like make it fucking hockey? Everybody should just get gloves we can throw down at the same time.
Right? Oh, man.
All right. Number one celebrity that you would fight, that you would want to fight.
Oh man, I'm trying to think. Does it have to be a man? Can it be a child?
No, but I would make it a man, or the adjudicator's gonna be pissed. You're not gonna win
Yeah.
that mutual combat argument
I would
unless
fight
she's
it.
unless it's like Ronda Rousey.
I'd fight a child. I definitely would fight a
Oh,
child.
good. Well, not
Yeah.
next week, buddy. We can't fight this child that you're
No.
bringing on the show.
He's not next week. I haven't locked in a date yet, but he's coming. But
So who are you gonna fight? Young Corey Feldman?
Oh, Corey Feldman. I'm hot and cold with him. Sometimes I'm like, oh, it's Corey Feldman. Other times I'm like, he's a dickbag. But
Ain't that just us though?
Yeah,
That's just humans.
That's just
sometimes
humans.
we're nice, and sometimes we're just fucking
Like,
dickbags.
I'm trying to think about like who I would fight. I don't think there's anybody that I dislike enough that if I saw him, I'd be like, I want to fight that guy. I'm trying to think. Who would you?
For me?
Moby?
Moby. Easy money. He besmirched the good name of Natalie Portman, and I will not have that. That's my manic pixie dream girl.
Yeah, that's not
cool. You'd besmirch because he said they were dating when they never were. And like he wrote it in his book, and she's like, dude, I never fucking dated you, weird ass.
I think I would fight Adrian Brody.
Oh, dude, he's got length on you. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's kind of like, I'm in a better weight class than him.
You are heavier than him. He's really thin. You got to fight him when he's making the pianist, when he's like fucking emaciated.
Right? I think I could take a couple hits from him. I would be fine.
Sure.
I also am really mad that he was in the Predators. The Predators 2010.
Yeah,
not a great movie. Not a great choice for that character. Like Danny Trejo should have survived the.
100%. 100%. Danny Trejo should always survive in any scenario. Outside of From Dusk Till Dawn, he was a vampire. He's already gone.
Yeah.
We can't keep him. The Predator franchise is like the Targaryens of movies. The gods flip a coin when one of them is made.
Yes.
And everyone holds their breath to see whether it's Alien versus Predator and the Predators or Badlands.
Yes. Like sometimes I'm just like, oh, this movie's really good. And other times I'm like, this movie kind of sucks. Like it was The Predator that came out 2018, I want to say, somewhere around there,
where they made the suit of the Predator at the end of it.
Yeah, which is like such a letdown because Shane Black directed that movie, like wrote and directed that movie, and he was in the original. And it's like you didn't keep the same. They haven't kept the same theme as the first movie. I will say I like the second movie, but the first movie where it was like. They went to great lengths, and it was the show don't tell of everything, where it was like they went to great lengths to show how badass these commandos were, wiping out an entire village of like the bad guys. They're like huge badass, and now they're being picked off like they're deer. Like that was the premise of the whole movie, and it was like the survival was, by a hair. Like that fight could have gone either way, and showing like, hey, humans are not superior to whatever this is. This thing is hunting them and tracking them. And they took that away for most of the movies. It's like they didn't really give the opportunity to show like, and the first one was more of a horror, right? A little bit of a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's got elements.
Well, in the same way that like the first Alien movie, is it sci-fi or is it horror? Because, the long, slow silences followed by a gotcha, motherfucker.
Right. And a fucking cat. Fucking cats jumping out of everywhere. Which is a staple now. And I believe Alien created that that trend. The cat jumping out of nowhere. Alien started it. 100% they did.
You screwed us, Ridley Scott.
You're a fan of Community, right? You remember it was the zombie episode. I think it was the second season Halloween episode. And it's Jeff, Abed, and Troy, and they're like walking around in this like supply room and everything, and it's like all quiet, and then a cat jumps out, and they're like, oh my god, they get scared the first time, and then they're like, okay, like all right, it was just a cat, and they keep walking, and then it jumps again, and Jeff's just like, we're on a new mission, we're gonna find this damn cat.
I mean, Harmon knows he can hit a pop culture vein on the first try.
He knows his tropes.
He's a doctor. All right, so as long as we're talking Ritchson, what do you remember him like from Smallville when he was Aquaman?
Oh my god, yeah. So I think that was his third role he had ever had as an actor. And Here's the crazy thing about that episode, because like I saw a clip from it earlier, and I think it was like a reel on Facebook or something. I saw a clip of it, and in that episode, you see Erica Durance in a bikini going. She's going out swimming. She's jumping off the dock. She hits her head on the dock. Alan Richson, the Aquaman, shows up, like saves her, and pulls her on the beach. And you're like, I just saw Erica Durance in a bikini, and she's still not the hottest person in the scene right now. Like
he's just one of those genetically created people. Like he should not have been born in the 40s, or the Nazis would have stolen him and tried to clone him.
Yeah,
he's just a genetically perfect dude. The jawline, the shoulders, everything. And now that he's a Reacher, he's like Barry Bonds in his later years. He was all cut when he was young, and now he's Reacher. He's just this massive headed human.
Massive. Same with like Wesley Snipes.
Taking walks and knocking balls into McCovey Cove.
Yeah. You look at Wesley Snipes in Major League, and then you look at him in Blade, and you're like, these are different people, size-wise. So
yeah. Did you read that thing that Snipes is actually not a terribly good athlete, and he's played an athlete in multiple movies like Major League, White Man Can't Jump. I was reading something about like actors who are good athletes. By the way, Costner, good athlete.
Yes.
And actors who are bad athletes, and they were like, Wesley Snipes, not a bad guy, but not a good athlete.
I always said you can tell in baseball. You can tell in baseball because that is all form, all technique. You know, when you see, again, I'm going to go back to Major League. I can't remember his name. Their normal pitcher, the older guy, I don't remember.
Who had like the grease on him and Ben Gay and everything.
Yeah. So when you watch him pitch, you're like, like you don't believe him as a pitcher. Charlie Sheen walks out and he throws a pitch, and you're like, that guy's a pitcher. That is an athlete. And I want to give the guy credit. I can't remember his name, but yeah, but you're like, that's an athlete right there. You can tell Charlie Sheen has pitched before in his life. So,
I think he pitched in high school. I think I remember seeing something like that where he did that. It's great. Charlie Sheen's a method actor. He pitched in high school, so he was able to pitch in a movie. He did a shitload of drugs when he was younger, and he was in Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. You know, he's got a wild life.
Motherfucker's got tiger blood.
Tiger blood. Man, his documentary is really good. We talked about that before. But yeah, Alan Richson, when he shows up in Smallville, and he was a very like cut dude, but he was like also, I don't want to say smaller, but skinnier at the time, right?
Sure.
He wasn't as stacked as he is now. Yeah. And then he gets into, even when he gets into Blue Mountain State, he's still in that kind of shape, right? And then you see him in Reacher, and you're like, holy shit, what happened to this guy? Like, he's just a monster. Like, it's incredible. And I was like seeing him talking about his workout routine. Somebody asked him, and he's like, I work out 4 to 5 times a week. And he's like, and I just do whatever I feel like doing. And, I just go until I want to throw up. Like, that's his routine. He's like, it's not like there's a set, like I do bench press this day, or I do this. He's like, I do full body workouts until I want to puke. And I'm like, fucking, all right. So that's what it takes. Do whatever you want. Lift weights until you have to puke. So,
which is similar to my workout. I work out at the gym until I get 2 emails. 1 email, I'll ignore. 2 emails, and I'm like, well, I gotta get off this treadmill.
Time to go,
guys. Wrap it up. Let's go.
Yeah, but so, and it's funny because I was watching some interviews with him, and in Reacher he has a very low voice, very calm voice, and he talks like this. But then you watch his interviews, and he sounds. And then he sounds like Thad Castle in his interviews. I'm like, that's his real voice. That is more closer to who he is than Reacher. Yeah. And you're like, holy shit.
But it makes me like him more, knowing that he's more Thad than Jack Reacher.
Right. And he's just like, seems like the nicest guy. And, he married his high school sweetheart. That's beautiful. They're still married, and they got 3 kids now, I think, actually.
Little motorcyclists.
Yep. But he seems
little Hellraisers.
Yeah. And I've been watching a few interviews with him, and he's just so he's so energetic when he's on talk shows. Like, and again, I've been watching a lot of Reacher. I just finished season 3 a few weeks ago, and he's just like in the show, he's just so calm and everything. And he gets on the show, and he's just so hyperactive and like really excited to be there. And I love that for him. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, the Reacher character is such an example of stoicism, modern stoicism, of just like not giving you any more than I have to. Sorry, for those of you not watching the stream, I just put my hand in front of my face to create a stoic granite face. This modern stoicism of it, he is no frills, no nothing, just exactly what it is. He just needs his toothbrush and his boots. He buys his clothes at thrift stores, which I also buy my clothes at thrift stores. Should we tell people?
I think we should tell if you're listening, you need to know this. So we both showed up to do a recording today, and we're both wearing our Superman shirts. We just looked and we're like, it's a mirror
today. Yeah, like we get on together, like, hey man. What the fuck? It was the Spider-Man thing, because we both actually look exactly like a Superman type character, 6'3", 6'5".
Yeah.
Broad shoulder, about 220, 240.
Six packs. Yeah.
Absolute, just
ripped.
Like I could take the shirt off and then wash it on my chest.
If you're watching this show, obviously we're joking.
Yeah, we're liars.
We are very much liars.
We are handsome potatoes at best.
So what's funny about this whole Alan Richson thing with him beating up the neighbor? So I was watching an interview with him on Jimmy Kimmel. No, not Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Fallon. Too many Jimmys out there with talk shows. But I was watching him on Jimmy Fallon, and he's telling the story about when he's in France, and so he stopped a guy who had broken into a car because they were asking him kind of like, "Hey, are you like the Reacher character?" He's like, "Well." He's like, we both like justice. He's like, so I was in France, and like me and my wife were walking down the street. We saw some guy, and he grabbed like some couple duffel bags out of a car, and he's running. And he's like, I think that guy's stealing from that car. And then he like looks at his wife. He's like, I'm gonna go get him. And she's like, we're on a date, and he's like, I'm gonna go get him. And he like ran after this guy. So he chases this guy down like blocks and blocks, and like grabs this dude and like finally catches up to the dude. The dude turns around like he's gonna fight him, and he's like, and I just tossed him into a wall. Like,
yeah, he's a big dude. Big people. Might makes right.
Right. And I was like, you know what? This is on brand for him. This whole incident that just happened is on brand for him. So good for him.
I mean, I watched the video. Okay, motorcycles are annoying. I would like to maintain that. But the other guy, stood in the street as he's riding up on his bike. He gets seriously injured doing that. And this dude's career is his body. He has to fucking bail, busts up his knee, messes up his acting career.
Yeah. Come
on. And I thought Ritchson kept it together. And even after he knocked the dude the fuck out, he was like, just stay down. He didn't kick his ass when he was on the ground. He didn't do the old put one knee down and start going to town. He knocked him the fuck down and just told him to stay there. And I respect that. And
it was dangerous. Like he could have injured Alan. He could have injured his kids. Like, sure. he put them at risk. And Alan even said like to the cops, he's like, I don't want to press charges, because the cops found the other guy in the wrong. He's like, no, I don't want to press charges. It's like, I want to move on with my life. He's like,
yeah, guy learned his lesson.
Mm-hmm. Got the shit kicked out of him.
The mutual combat judge would agree.
And he was like, yep. Not guilty.
Fluff up my white wig here. Good job, Aquaman.
And you know what? I really want them to bring him back as Aquaman for the new DCU. He's like the perfect person for it. He would have to play like kind of an older version. Couldn't play like the young figuring it out one. But
well, I mean, where are we at in the DCU time frame wise? Because we have 3 years in on Superman, right?
Yes. Yep.
The Batman or Superman has been around for 3 years.
Yes.
But they know metahumans exist. We haven't been introduced to the Flash. We haven't been introduced to Batman. So we don't know what age they're going to be. Because someone said Alan Richson should play Batman, but it's like, dude. If you saw that guy and you're like, oh, I'm just Bruce Wayne, don't worry about me and my massive arms. Yeah. I'm just a philanthropist playboy. Like, dude, you're Batman.
Physique wise, sure, but no. And it's the blonde hair again. The blonde hair with Batman. It's like, you watch Titans, right? What was I can't remember the actor's name who they chose to play Bruce Wayne, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
I know who you're talking
Dude's
about.
Like 70 years old.
It wasn't. That wasn't the one where they used Kevin
He,
Conroy.
he was from he was in Game of Thrones. Oh, I'm gonna look this up
I
now.
know who you're talking about. Look it up. But I think in one of like the Legends of Tomorrow thing, when they did the Crisis on Infinite Earths saga, they brought in a Kevin Conroy Batman, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. The only thing I didn't like about that was when they had John Cryer playing Lex Luthor. I
Yeah.
cannot stand John Cryer. I'm sure he is a wonderful human being, but his career baffles the shit out of me. Dude was Ducky in an iconic 80s movie where he was the loser friend who didn't get the girl. And he's still out there doing it and going on. I'm just like, God, man, I can't take him. I can't take him seriously.
Oh, here we go. Lane Glenn. That's his name. Lane Glenn. He was in Game of Thrones.
As?
Oh, now I have to look up that character. I don't know. He was
All right,
he was like
right.
He was like Daenerys's right hand man, not the assassin guy. The older guy.
Oh, yes. He was from Mormont. He was Jorah Mormont.
Yes, that's it. So yes, we
Yes.
got there. We found it. But they chose him to play Bruce Wayne in the Titan show, and I was like, what the fuck? You know who else was in the Titan show? Alan fucking Richson.
That's right. He was Hawk and Dove with one of my favorite actresses ever, Minka Kelly.
Yes.
Yeah. God bless her.
And
fucking
he was
Lila Garrity forever.
Yeah, and he was great in that. And he, spoiler alert, he had a very unceremonious death. I was very upset about his death in that show. All because of fucking Red Hood.
It kind of went off when they started bringing in the Red Hood and like the whole Jason Todd saga.
Mm-hmm.
I felt Titans got a little off base.
Yeah.
But I think that was around the same time as Doom Patrol, and maybe some of the better writers scooted over to there.
Yeah.
Which
Doom Patrol was fun. I like that show.
It was. You didn't have to take it seriously. No. It was what it was.
Those are the best kinds of shows where they know what they are.
Yeah. I'm fine with a silly premise. I'm fine with campy acting, but if you're gonna wink, give me one to the camera too. Let me know that I know you're in on it, and then let's fucking have a blast. Give me some Tim Curry from Treasure Island Muppets. You're having fun. I'm having fun. Let's watch some fucking fun.
Yeah, I just watched that movie over the weekend.
Really?
Kids. Yeah. And I was like, they're into the Muppets now, so I was like, hey, let's watch this one.
That's
and
good.
I think we made it halfway through before nap time, but dude, holds up, 100%, still good.
Favorite Muppets movie or TV show or Muppet scenario?
I gotta tie because the Muppets Christmas Carol is so good, and then one of the best ones they ever made. But the Muppet movie that Jason Segel made was amazing. And I love that movie, and I could watch it over and over. There's no limit to how many times I could watch that movie. No limit.
I wish they had made the new Muppet character an animal of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
It felt weird that it was a Muppet, but also like humanoid.
Yes.
Everything else about the movie was freaking amazing. The songs were really good. The heart, Chris Cooper with the maniacal laugh.
Yeah.
Great movie. But I hope that it wasn't just an excuse to have the human version being Jim Parsons.
Yeah. Well,
in the dream sequence.
And that was some of the fun and some of the wackiness of the Muppets was that in the start, they're like Jason Segel and his brother, his brother who's a Muppet. And he's like, oh yeah, everybody says we look alike. And it's that suspension of disbelief of like, that's that world. That's that world. And it kind of established that's that world where people and Muppets are viewed as the same, kind of,
Sure. It's Toontown in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's like, cartoons, they exist alongside of us. Move on. But next subject.
I liked all the meta bits in there. It's like, it's going to take us a long time to get there. Let's travel by map. And it shows the map and just the line going. It was all those fun little bits in there. And you can tell Jason Segel just had the time of his life writing it. I don't know why they didn't bring him back for the sequel. and because the sequel was not nearly as good. It was okay.
Was it Muppets Most Wanted or something?
Yeah, Muppets Most
And you
Wanted.
had Tina Fey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think I saw that one.
Yeah,
I just something about it said cash grab, and I didn't want it.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais was good in it. One of my favorite bits in there though was so they're in the gulag. Kermit's in the gulag, and he's with all these a lot of famous actors playing prisoners, right? But they're playing characters, and so Tina Fey is like saying goodnight to everybody. She's like, good night, so and so. Good night, so and so. Good night, Danny Trejo. Like he was playing himself in there, and I was like,
yeah,
that's a good one. And those little subtle things are what makes the Muppets so funny. It's like acknowledging those little things.
Oh, the fourth wall is another Muppet.
Yes,
it is. The fourth wall is a Muppet, so they can just be like, hey, you know what's going on. We know what's happening. I loved the Muppet Show. I liked it when they redid it in the 90s. I thought it was weird when they tried to make it into a documentary, like a mockumentary, like 5-6 years ago. But the first one, the first one will always be my favorite. Rainbow Connection is a song I want played at my funeral, or have someone, open a birthday card that plays a snippet of it and lay it on the ground near whatever place I die.
It is I love the Muppet Show, the classic Muppet Show. They just had one. They tried to kind of reboot it. I think Seth Rogen did it. And they had Sabrina Carpenter as the guest, and it was a 30-minute thing on Disney Plus. I watched it. I think I watched it twice now. It was good. I liked it. I hope it goes somewhere, because they were kind of like, we're going to see if this works. And if nobody watches it, we're not going to do it. But if people watch it, we'll start the Muppet Show again. But I think
that's what they should do. Just give me 30 minutes of a new concept or redoing a concept, and let's see if we watch it and give a shit about it. And then if you do, go spend the money. And if not, give that money to charity.
Yeah, it was like the classic Muppet Show. And I was good with that. I'm like, that's what I want. I want to watch this. Mm-hmm. People watch it, so we can get it. We'll see what happens.
And that's the point with the Muppets. We'll see what happens. It's always some random scenario. Alan Richson. Okay, so if Alan Richson was in a Muppet movie where he was the human and the Muppets exist, what are you thinking?
Ooh.
And then he's just like throwing Muppets around.
Yeah. I mean, like, if we're going off of just kind of like Muppet Treasure Island and Muppet Christmas Carol, it has to be some kind of IP that already exists. I'm thinking of like Muppet
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
And he's the monster. Yes. Or if they turn it, maybe it's a Jekyll Hyde thing, and Kermit turns into Alan Richson as Mr. Hyde, and then woos Miss Piggy.
Oh, that would be good. See, I could also see Count of Monte Cristo. I could see that. Might be too adult for kids. That. But yeah.
Treasure Island's got some dark shit in there too. Robert Lewis he played with some scurvy, if you know what I mean.
Yes. I could see it doing like a Count of Monte Cristo where he's where he's Edmond Dantes. And Kermit's like his mentor, in the prison, and Animal's the jailer.
Kermit's got to be the lead. Yeah, right.
Maybe it'd be better if he was the lead. You know what though? Putting Alan Richson as whoever Luis Guzman played, his character in the movie.
His essentially his Sancho Panza character. Yeah. Which there's a great one, Don Quixote. With Muppets, because what's more quixotic than Kermit the Frog?
Yeah, that would be good. I would watch that. Oh
yeah, I would definitely watch it. And then you got to do the. Did you ever see the Terry Gilliam? Was it Lost in La Mancha movie?
No.
So Terry Gilliam was trying to make a Don Quixote movie for years and years and years, and with Johnny Depp, of course. And he never could get it done. They would film things and shit would happen, or he would not get the rights to this and they'd have to, go back and film it a different way. And it just never worked. But they made a documentary of how the movie never worked and how they couldn't get it off the ground, called Lost in La Mancha. And it's worth it. I love me some Terry Gilliam. Give me some fucked up Brazil any day of the week.
He's great. I like Terry Gilliam. I've seen a lot of his movies. Was the one? It wasn't Heath Ledger. His last movie wasn't that
The Imaginarium
of
of
Dr.
Dr.
Parnassus.
Parnassus.
Yes, that
Yes,
was a
where all
great
the other
movie.
guys.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a fun one. He's got a whimsy to him, like with Time Bandits.
Mhm.
You know, that's fun. Did you see the new Time Bandits? I don't know if we talked about this.
No, I didn't.
It only got one season, but I thought it was really good. Who is it? Who's Phoebe from Friends?
Lisa Kudrow.
She's in it. She basically plays the lead pirate, or lead bandit. Really fun dialogue back and forth. For one season, you can knock that thing out in a couple of days. It's worth a watch. I enjoyed it.
Okay. I did see, so I was scrolling through Apple TV the other day and I did see this on there and I was wondering what that was. So I'm glad you explained that to me because I'll go check it out.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's clever. It's back and forth. It's silly without being over the top. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Alan Richson, going back to his career. So we haven't even talked about Blue Mountain State yet, which is one of the greatest TV comedies of all time. Genius. Absolute genius.
Give me a second. Let me do the math on that. State, 3 seasons, Alex Moran, Thad Castle, Romansky. Yeah, okay. No argument. I put it top 4.
Yeah. It's so wacky and so undeniably funny. And people kind of shit on the movie a little bit that they did because they did 3 seasons and then they did a movie. Rise of Thad. Rise of Thadland.
It was the Rise of Thad. Thadland, yes.
It was Thadland, yeah. And I liked the movie. I liked it. You know, it wasn't for everybody, but I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't for everybody. It wasn't really... I think they should have taken that money and just done a really pared down season. Because I think one of the funniest parts about Blue Mountain State was the episodes. Like, I didn't need a storyline stringing me through 2 hours.
Sure.
Give me 20, 30 minutes at a time with who put their finger up whose butthole, how to get clean piss, and then just with your little side characters. The great TV shows take the Shakespearean thing of having like the 2 actors that walk by and say a couple of lines and then walk off stage. And with, I want to say Armand is his name, the kicker, who is just like the drug guru.
Oh, what's his name? I know who you're talking about.
Armand, whatever it was. He would have like 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, nothing much in an episode, but it was great. It was always the perfect amount of seasoning. When you go to a whole 2 hour, hour and a half, whatever movie, I think it forces too much narration, too much narrative.
Yeah. So you know who else was in that movie or that show? Stephen Amell.
That's correct. He was
the quarterback in the first season. I think he only appeared in like 2 episodes. He wasn't in much.
Stephen Amell from Green Arrow?
Yes, Stephen Amell from Green Arrow. So he was in the show. He ends up getting blown by a hooker who turns out to be a dude.
Well, we've all been there.
I mean, some of us, I guess. I don't know.
It was a dark night in Argyle Street, Chicago. But let's not get into it.
Yeah, but that was a thing that happened in that show. But, you know, Alan Richson's character in there is so over the top and so funny. And his high-pitched screams and his ridiculousness. It's amazing. It's amazing. And from that show alone, stuff should have been flying at him. I'm like, but I also get it was an over the top comedic character, and a lot of people were not looking for that at the time. You know,
his flexibility to look one way, like what a 1955 schoolboy thinks a football player should look like, and being so sassy and silly at the same time is great. But if you're a casting director, you're looking for somebody, he's a very particular type, regardless of his range.
Yes, and very similar to John Cena. I think people are starting to realize, like, the big guys can be funny. They can be funny now. The big handsome guys can be funny. John Cena,
which is awful.
Yeah, it's not fair, but
taking jobs away from good fat people.
it used to always give me some kind of satisfaction that like the really handsome people had very dull personalities.
Nope, not anymore. Now they're all clever.
Now it's okay.
I just saw Matt Rife on fucking Scrubs, and it makes me angry.
Yeah, I mean, too many people there. You used to sit there and be like, whatever. He's he's not that funny. Like I'm funny. Like I make these girls laugh, and then it's like, oh shit, they make them laugh too.
Yeah, they took away the one thing we had.
That was it.
Yeah, Alan Richson would be cool. Okay, Aquaman, yes, because he's big blonde dude. You'd have to give him long hair. I mean, he can't have lost his hand. Sorry, rambling. What Marvel superhero do you think Ritchson could have played?
Oh,
I'll cover up my Superman for this conversation.
Yeah, he. See, because part of me says he would have been a great Captain America, but I also think he's too big to play Captain America.
Too big. Colossus,
yes, he could do Colossus. Let's see. He could.
They never did quite nail Colossus.
No. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of built characters in there. It was like I'm thinking size and I guess looks wise.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of those comic book players have the square jaw. I mean,
yeah.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Comic book character or Alan Richson's jawline?
Right. Yeah, they're all drawn that. They're all like perfect humans in that, except for Blob.
Mm-hmm.
But he's beautiful in his own way.
And even in his own way, he had a big fat heart.
Big fat
underneath
heart.
That big fat chest.
Mm-hmm.
Big fat heart.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Man, from Marvel, who would he play?
I just had the weirdest. You know who would be a good Gambit?
Who's that?
Adrian Brody.
I could see it. I could see that.
Right? Skinny, lanky, kind of sleazy. Like you should have a little bit of like 6 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see him playing Gambit. I still hope they bring,
because I like Channing Tatum, but I think he was a little bit too thick. He looked too thick. Because maybe, to me, Gambit is always like X-Men, 97 X-Men, like that skinny, gorgeous,
right,
red eyes.
Because that's where I'm stuck. Is I keep thinking of the X-Men for Alan Richson. Like Colossus, I feel like is the only one.
Should we do an episode? Obviously, this is one where Steph will take off, where it's just us dream casting everything. Didn't you suggest that? You said like dream casting.
I did. I suggested that because I thought it'd be really funny if Norm Macdonald had hosted an episode of Dateline. I thought that would be. I thought that would be hilarious. He'd be sitting there, he'd come on and say, "Yeah, so she was found, he was found dead in his apartment. Wife stabbed him in the face 37 times. I thought twice was enough." Like, he just drops jokes in there, but like with his deadpan delivery of everything. Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald. But that would have been huge for you. But really putting any comedian in that role who like can't resist the joke. You have to find someone who can't resist the joke, But Norm Macdonald, because his delivery of everything is so funny that like you're watching Dateline, you're like, I feel like I should be scared, but I'm laughing. This is a weird feeling.
Do you know how I know you're old?
How's that?
Because you watch Dateline.
My wife watches Dateline. She loves it.
Well, you know what I'm going to watch? Monarch.
What's that? Monarch, yes.
Monarch. You talked me into it. I'm going to watch Monarch.
Check it out. You don't really need to know much about the movies, just that Godzilla and Kong exist in this world. Because the show takes place, I think, about a year after the 2014 Godzilla movie. So it takes place in 2015. And it came out like 2 years ago. But that's because there's some time jumping involved in there. But it takes place in 2015 to start the show off. So it's right after Godzilla's first appearance to the world. So they're kind of dealing with the aftermath.
1999.
Yeah, 1999.
The only Godzilla canon I trust is the Matthew Broderick classic Godzilla.
Did you ever?
1999.
Did you watch the cartoon that followed that?
No, I honestly have never. I don't get the whole kaiju fascination.
Oh,
the whole large monster coming from the sea. It just doesn't track with me. I don't get the fascination of it.
I think it has to do with childhood. I think it has to do with childhood and those fun things. Like Power Rangers, you said was kind of towards like the end of
Mm-hmm.
your, you know. But for me, I watched
Yeah.
Power Rangers, and they had the kaiju fights. You know, they had the
Mm-hmm.
the Megazord fighting. You know, whatever the hell monster they decided to make grow that week. You know, so
Whatever Rita Repulsa was up to.
right. You know, her and Lord Zed, they're doing their dumb shit. But you know, again, I watched the old Godzilla movies. I always thought those were fun, and I love the spoofs on them. They're great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pacific Rim. I like Pacific Rim, and it's exactly what it should have been.
I like Pacific Rim. I didn't, but that's more of like a big robot thing.
Yes,
Because in the same way, Robot Jocks is one of my favorite movies as a child.
it's a great movie.
Great fucking movie.
Great movie.
Achilles! Achilles!
See, I think where movies do it wrong sometimes, though, is that they are trying to be something that they're not. Pacific Rim, if it had tried to be like a serious movie that made sense, it would have sucked. Pacific Rim was a movie about robots fighting monsters coming out of a rift from under the ocean.
Sure.
It doesn't need to make sense. You just need to know that this is the way that world works, and you're going to watch monsters fight robots. That's
It's popcorn.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with a straight up popcorn movie. A movie that you can go in and you sit down in the dark and you eat your fucking popcorn, and preferably you're by yourself so you can fart away, and you just eat that fucking popcorn and you fart for an hour and 15 to 22 minutes, and then you get up and you clean up your popcorn and you wipe your ass and you leave.
Yeah. There's movies that make absolutely no sense, but, you know, and I love when people point that out to you and they're like, oh, I'll always remember this for some reason. We were watching, I think I was watching Transformers at my parents' house, you know, a long time ago when it first came out.
That's a popcorn movie.
Yes.
For sure.
It is. And my mom was sitting there and she was like, well, how do they become the size of buildings when they're just little cars? And I'm like, that's the part you don't believe about the robots that transform from cars into robots. I'm like, that's the part that throws you off. Like,
you son of a bitch.
It's
your mom is like, actually, I have a brief history of time here. And Stephen Hawking has some ideas. We could even go back to Einstein. Matter cannot be created nor destroyed. So Bumblebee is a fucking, liar.
Yeah. The alien robots turning into cars and then turning back. That's the part that you're okay with. But the size of them after they transform, that's where we lose you. Got it.
She's not wrong.
No.
She's not wrong. She's
not
completely
wrong.
right.
She's not wrong. I never said my mom was wrong. Love my mom. But
I saw the first Transformers and I didn't even think of that. She's got eyes.
Yeah. I think I've seen 2 of the Transformer movies, and there's like
that's
8
not
of them
fair.
now.
I saw the second one, but then the 2 like racist trope robots were so bad.
Oh,
I was just sitting in the theater going, "Oh, that's not even like." There's a way to use race and sex and exploit the stereotypes and make it funny while not punching down and doing whatever pickaninny bullshit that Michael Bay did in that second one. There's a way to play off of each other well. I think talking about Community, Harmon always did that very well, where his characters would hit each other with race tropes. But it was never mean-spirited. It was always just kind of fun back and forth.
Yes.
And then you see sometimes where you'll hear, it's like the Supreme Court's definition of pornography. There's no definition, but you know it when you see it. You know it sometimes when you see it, when you're just like, oh no, like, that Transformer has gold teeth, big ears. I mean, you basically put a fucking Jim Crow ruling in the middle of a Transformers movie, you racist bastard.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Next
George
week
Lucas
we will
is
not
pretty
be
guilty.
interviewing Michael Bay.
Yeah. George Lucas is guilty of that too.
You talking about the Trade Federation?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. And so we're just going to go ahead and wrap this up right now. Alan, we love you. We are happy that no charges were brought against you and that you did the right thing and protected your family. So if you ever want to come on the show, feel free.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Can we get like the whole cast of Blue Mountain State on the show?
It's going to be tough, but get Denise Richards, Alan Richson. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Sam Jones. But
Chris Romano.
Chris Romano. I messaged him on Instagram today, and I hope that he's listening
Really?
and wants to. Yeah.
God, I love him.
Messaged him. I asked him
He is an inspiration, man. He wrote that shit.
Yeah.
He was one of the main writers on that show. Good for you, buddy. They always say if you don't fit a role, you don't fit a thing, create something yourself, and he did.
And his character was
funny
hilarious.
show. Good for you, buddy.
He has not responded to me yet, but Chris, if you're listening and want to come on the show,
yeah, well, fuck him then. Never mind. I'm out of here.
Yeah, no, but we would love to have you on the show. You've got looks like you got a new podcast called We're Getting Naked, which looks hilarious. Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that one because he's a funny guy.
Send me that. Yeah. Let me see that. I'll give him a listen. It's gonna be nice weather again tomorrow. I can take a walk with the dog and listen to it.
Yeah, it looks pretty funny. So, but that'll about do it for us. Alex, any last thoughts on Alan Richson?
On Alan Richson, no. However, on both of us wearing Superman shirts, this is awesome. I see you have a beautiful, faded look right here too. These colors don't run.
Nope. And my last thought is I have to show Alex, my wife, decorated the shelves just for you, right behind me. Look at that.
Those are nice, as opposed to the blankness of last time.
Yeah,
those look very nice.
2 weeks ago, Alex commented that the shelves behind me didn't have anything on them, and I told him we just hadn't put anything up since we took down our Christmas decorations. So, I told my wife, and she's like, "All right, I'm gonna decorate it." So thank you.
You tell her I said it looks lovely. I flipped the camera. I didn't feel like moving my desk tonight, so you're getting like a lot more of my apartment than you need to.
Hey.
And the dog sleeping piece. Oh, she's awake.
Oh, look at that dog.
That means I have to take her out to go for the last potty of the night.
Yep, we got to probably do the same with my dog. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening.
You're going to stay with your kids.
Yeah, no. They're asleep. They're asleep. I get some peace.
Come on, kids. Last potty of the night. Go out to the yard.
Yeah, get out there. But thank you, everybody, for listening to the Spit Take podcast. We'll be back next week. We have a special guest, Will Adams, coming on the show. He is a Chicago filmmaker. We're excited to talk with him about the new film that he just released. It's called Tube E. That's Tube-E. So there's no confusion. If you want to watch it before the show, so you can hear some inside stuff from him, that's great. If not, we'll give you a good synopsis of it. But we're looking forward to having him on the show.
How can people watch that?
Oh, so ironically, it is not on Tubi. It is on Tubi as in Tubi. It is on Plex. So you can watch it on Plex if you have it. But we're excited to talk with the local filmmaker. You know, we're big Chicago people. We love supporting our locals. But tune in next week, and we'll hopefully have another good show for you.
Yeah, hopefully this was a good one.
I hope it was a good one. I think it was a good one. I think people have fun. Two Supermans, yeah. And Alan Richson
Battle of Superman.
Alan Richson talk. You know, who doesn't want to talk about Alan Richson?
He'd be a pretty good Superman, but we'll get into that later.
Yes, we will. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.